Hello, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Get to Know. Today we are having a special guest. The this lady we're going to speaking with. Her name is Hazel. She is a personal friend of mine. I have known her and her husband for over 20 years. I've known her husband his entire life. Um, Today you're going to hear a story about not only about survival. You're going to hear a story that's going to make you mad. It's going to piss you off. It's going to upset you. It'll also warm your heart. And it'll make you think about some things. Both serious and, you know, whatnot. So, ladies and gentlemen, I give to you Hazel. Hazel, are you there, sweetheart?
Hey everyone.
So, Hazel, how are you today, first of all? How are you and your husband doing?
We're good. We were getting ready for the live, and I've never done this, so it was a shit show around here.
Oh, yeah.
But it's
If
good.
life's not a shit show, then we'd all be bored.
Right. Amen to that. And I don't like that.
So, I've
And my
given you an
voice is a
introduction.
little crackly, so apologize.
You're good. You're good. You're good.
Okay.
So I know these things can be kind of stressful, but if you feel like you need to take a break, just let me know. We'll
Okay.
stop. We'll pause. We can come back at another time. Just know that I really appreciate you coming here and being willing to tell your story, not only of survival but of anger, of hope, of complete disrespect, for lack of a better word. For
Yeah,
some reason, my mind's not clicking right. But
that's okay.
betrayal. Talk about a story of betrayal, sweetheart. You and your husband have a story of betrayal.
Yeah.
So
I would agree that's a good word for it.
yeah. So we're talking about an incident that happened in your family here over the last year or so, 2 years or so. I've been trying.
Yeah.
I've been working on getting you to come up and tell your story, and I hope I wasn't putting too much pressure on because I never want to do that. I just find that
No.
you have a very unique and personal story because one of the things around here is speak for the silent. Well, your son, whom is the victim,
Hmm.
is nonverbal with cerebral
Right.
palsy,
Yes.
so it takes it up a whole new level.
For
The
sure.
person that betrayed your family was her own brother and her brother's boyfriend. Um, so with that being said, why don't you, Hazel, give us a little bit of an introduction to who you are, what like. The floor is yours. I'll guide you through whatever you want. I'll ask the questions you want. Just
Okay.
this is your time to tell your story, how you want people to receive it and understand. And this is your time. This is your time.
Okay, let's do it.
You're good, girl.
Okay. Well, so I have three boys, my husband and I. We have a 17-year-old. Our special boy is 12, almost 13. And then we have a 6-year-old. And we always wanted these children. I tell my oldest that he was our blessed surprise because though we weren't necessarily planning for him at that time, that's when he came. And then we got married, really wanted to have another baby after we got married. And so we worked on that one pretty good. And I stood on my head just to make sure this seed would plant. And so he was intended to be here. And anyways, I had a pretty healthy pregnancy with my son. And at the end, I started getting sciatic pain. I worked at a country club serving, so I was carrying big trays and yada, yada, yada. Hindsight is sciatic pain could be a sign of early abruption. So when I went into labor with this little angel, my water broke in the parking lot at a grocery store. And my oldest at the time was 4. And there was blood in the water. And I thought, oh, shit, I better call my mom. So I called my mom. She was with my aunt and who's an RN. She said, Lisa, you need to get to the hospital right now. And so I said, well, I'm just going to drive home. It's just a few blocks. And then, and she said, okay, I'll send your cousin over to watch the kid, yada, yada. Anyhow, as soon as we got to the hospital, my husband and they put the heart monitor on my belly and couldn't pick up a heartbeat. And I was thinking, wow, this baby's like way down in the birth canal, because my shock was just like reasoning things. But I was hemorrhaging. And anyhow, I got on the bed. We went in the delivery room. I think it was 2 or 3 pushes, and that boy was here, and he wasn't breathing. He was dead, and they had to revive him. He had really low APGARs, 0004. So that meant they
Wow.
finally got a heartbeat. And I was like a zombie. I remember just saying, like, not even recognizing this little human on the table, because I think it's because his spirit wasn't with his body, is what I'm likening it to, because I just didn't feel like this connection like I did with my first one. And I was like, okay, this is weird, but I was just like, save my baby. And they did. And we had him at a children's hospital, thank God. They cooled his brain to a certain temperature. I think they do that for 3 days, and then they warm them back up. They only take it down to like 91 degrees or something, which is interesting. So the brain doesn't try to heal itself, it causes more damage. Anyways, so on that 3rd day, it was like the biggest day of our lives for me and my husband, because the neurologist wanted to talk to us, and it was almost like a sentencing, I think. Is like the nerves I can, it was something we didn't want to listen to, but we knew we had to. And it was pretty hard, because they said, your child has suffered with um severe brain damage on both hemispheres. We can't tell you if he'll walk, talk, what his life really will look like at this point. And but he did say, I've seen kids walk across the graduating stage. I've seen them go across in wheelchairs. I've seen them not survive, till that age. And so that was like, what? And I just thought, I can't do this. This isn't who I was supposed to be, and I felt a lot of guilt about that, because I'm mom, and as a woman, you want to
It's
take
got to
care of
be
your
my fault.
baby, of course.
Right.
But what was that?
It's good. Like, I'm sure for you or for any woman, it's like, you're the mom. So it's like, it's got to be my fault. I did something wrong.
Yeah, it's on you. It's on you. You know, that's just and that's part of parenting too, I think, is when you have this little creature, you're just like, they're mine. I've got to take care of it. Anyways, so basically he only stayed in the NICU for 3 weeks. He didn't have a gag reflex. He had so much blood in his lungs that one of the night nurses, he actually brought in a palm massager, like those ones you put on your hand just for like rubbing your shoulders or whatever. Well, it broke up that all that dried blood in his little lungs. Anyways, he really helped get this kid's lungs cleared out. And he just always struggled with his um a natural thing is your swallow reflex, right? Or your gag. He never had one in the hospital. He never made a peep until the night before we went home. I prayed and prayed, like, please, God, let this child make a noise, because how am I going to know if he needs something?
Right. Right.
And because, that's typical for a kid to cry. So you feed him or whatever. And then that night, me and my husband stayed over in the parents' suite with him. And no shit, he did this little tiny meow. That's what it sounded like to me. And I was like, okay, we can do this. Although I was like frightened beyond belief to take him home and be responsible. He came home, and here we are 12 years later with the sweetest, most precious thing I've ever gotten, the blessing to have in my life. I mean, of course my other children are, but there's just something unique about
Right.
you know, people with disabilities, I guess.
Right.
What my husband always says is he's just a boy He's just trapped in his body. And it's true because he's all there in his brain. He's just trapped in those muscles with CP. He's really hypertonic, is what they call him. Quadriplegic. He doesn't walk. He moves. Believe that, hon. He's a moving, but it takes a lot of time for them to figure out how to train their brain and muscles to work together because he has spasms and he has seizures. So he has a G tube. He's total care, is what they call it. And so he's 24/7, y'all. And it's exhausting, but it's worth it. And so, yeah, from the beginning, my baby brother is that's the one who was the, I'm going to say offender.
Yeah, and we don't. I just so
He
you know,
was,
not to cut you off.
yeah.
But a lot of YouTube channels, they don't want you to use the word sexually abused or any of that. We do
Okay.
around
So
here.
offender's cool.
We do around here. We do.
Okay.
We
Okay.
call these things what they are because they're serious, and not calling them what they are is stupid to me, and it
Right.
knocks down the seriousness of what these offenses are.
Oh, sure. So, well, then just so I probably can't say sexual predator because it breaks my heart
Oh,
so hard
right.
that I'll probably just say my brother. Okay.
Okay.
And maybe in this interview I might lash out on him. Who
Well,
the fuck knows what's gonna happen?
I refer to them as parasites.
Parasites. Oh gosh, that's yuck. Heck. Anyways, it's really a fucking not. It's terrible, horrible.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
cigarettes are out there. Anyhow, so um since my youngest brother, he always did well in school. He always was kind of a little more quiet, didn't have lots of friends. All of his friends that he really got along with ended up being girls. This never really seemed weird to me. You know, I don't know. I was his big sis and I'm a girl, so whatever. But a lot of people have told me now, like, I knew he was gay from blah, 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 blah. You know, I'm like, right on. But anyways, my brother did really well in school. He wanted to go into pre-med. And so he did DNA classes in high school when he graduated and moved to the bigger city where he started pre-med and met his ex-partner, the other parasite. Yeah. So anyhow, what I'm getting at is he was there for me from the beginning with this little my special boy and talked me through some scary shit that I had to go through it on the phone, you know, from another state and really kept my calm and just made me feel like I could do this.
Really define that trust in him.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Complete, without a shadow of a doubt, complete trust in him.
Yeah. You know, one thing about my little brother is he always had this, and it's changed a bit since he's been sentenced and yada yada, but I know the covers have been pulled, but he's always been angry, really, really angry. There was like about probably 7 or 8 years old, something changed in him. I can see it in photos now when I look back. This look in his eyes, like he had something stolen from him, you know, and he was upset. And he was a fucking asshole sometimes. But I also like my best friend and someone that I could tell anything and laugh, you know, harder than, you know, that your belly hurts. And anyways, it's like we have the kindred spirits, obviously, but we were really close.
A special bond between the two of you.
Huge bond because I was big sister. So when he came home from the hospital, I mean, I was changing diapers, I was giving him his binky, you know, all those things. He played dolls with me. He'd do whatever I asked. And we shared pets together. Whatever. We were close. We're close. I have not as close anymore, of course, because I hardly talk to him. But so yeah. So eventually my we moved from the city that we were in. My husband had to go do a trip, do a little time for the penitentiary, motherfuckers.
Hey,
And he got
there's a
schooled
lot of
up
us in this
there.
community that's been there. There's a lot of us in this community that's been there. I haven't, but my wife has. But so I mean,
Yeah, and
it's all part of life.
honestly, I admire my husband's attitude and knowledge, wisdom, growth um, that he got from those trips. Anyhow, or whatever. So then I moved back to my hometown, and uh, I had my oldest and my special boy, and I moved into my big brother's home by myself with the two kids, so I could be close to my folks and have more help because you, it takes a village. And then eventually my younger brother moved from the state that he was in uh with his ex-partner, and they had been dating at this point probably about 5 years. Um, and this is the only partner that we were ever introduced to. He didn't come out until he was in college when he came out, and he told me first, and it was hard for him to come out to us. Um, but that didn't change who he was to me.
Right, your little
But
brother.
what's strange is this partner, like, I think overall they were together on and off like about 10 years. I mean, he was involved in family vacations, shit like that. I never knew the creep under the clothes, you know, not until the very end when all came out. And I'm like, what the fuck? But so they moved back. I say this and it's the truth. My parents spoiled my baby brother rotten because whatever he wanted, they'd get him. If he just he got what he wanted. Did he need it? Fuck no. He'd throw a fucking fit, and but he also um had a way with things like he once my mom bought him this fucking Princess Diana beanie baby, okay? And he cried for it. This is a stupid story, but then he ended up selling it for like hundreds of dollars, years ago. And he had an eye for things. He liked nice things, champagne taste, beer budget, whatever. My parents made happen. And literally, you can spoil your children rotten. So don't fucking do it. You got to tell them no. Right, Aaron?
No is very healthy for children. Yes.
It is. I didn't know that until, you know, until I started having them and saying, no, hell no. And my husband, he keeps me on point. But okay, so then yada yada. The partner had a job while he was here. My brother didn't work in the beginning because basically he was the housewife, I guess. House husband. That's a better way to put it. And he ran his partner to and from work and took care of they had livestock because his partner was raised in this, livestock industry. And my brother was always into animals. That was one thing they had in common. So anyhow, they were busy, but my brother was depressed, and him and his partner kept getting in fights, and these are bad fights, like stabbing, each other, shit like that. Not like stabbing to where they had to go to the hospital, but like my brother would call my mom and say, "You need to fucking come out here. It's bad." And just so happened they're stabbing at each other and shit. And it was really volatile and just
Very
really
toxic. Very toxic.
very toxic. That's about, yes, very toxic relationship. Um, but my brother loved him, I guess. And so I see my brother and he's depressed. He's not himself. And I'm just like, what can I do to help him? And I always would ask him, like, do you need to talk? And every time we started talking about, you know, more serious things, or my dad in particular, and the people that I might liken to, to give him perspective, he would fucking just fly off the handle. So we never really got very far in talking deep once he was with his partner. And I think I know why. You know, there was just so much under there that he was hiding for so long, for his partner and, you know, for himself. And anyways, so I tell my little brother, hey, you know, your nephew needs a caregiver. This would be perfect for you. You can watch him at my house. You can help me out, help him out, still be getting some knowledge in, you know, your field when you decide to go back to school, because he had stopped at this point. And I was like, and I also said, please, brother, I need some help, because it was so hard to find good caregivers. It still is.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but it's just the way it is. And, you know, I seen him interact with our child, and he was tender love and care. Never saw anything different.
Who better to trust than your brother?
Yeah, who's in pre-med, you know? Like,
Right.
and exactly. So eventually I talked him into it, which I feel like a dick sometimes, because I was just like, please help me. Rah. But at the same time, I didn't know and what the fuck was really going on. And I don't know when it started, but probably pretty quick, because he started watching him at our house, because that's where your caregivers come in home care. And, you know, he did like 4-hour shifts. And there were a couple times where his partner got dropped off there for at the end of Ben's shift, or at the end of my brother's shift. And then, you know, because he had to be chauffeured around, because this motherfucker had a couple DUIs and shit. And it's expensive to drive when you got those. But anyways, so yeah. And then eventually my brother and his partner moved in with my parents. And yeah, I got to take a small break to have a bite of my sandwich. But so when they lived with my parents is when um the video happened. So yeah, we could get back to that in a second if I can just have a munch break.
Yeah, go ahead, take your time.
Okay.
I'm gonna give a shout out to everybody here. Just here. So,
Do it, please. Okay.
All the 10 sitting in the rest stop, don't be shy. Come on in, say hi in the chat. We'll give you a shout out. Mr. Lacombe, I'm glad to see you here. Twin Mama, thank you for listening. Jersey, as always, thank you for being here. Sarge, Modog, love you, Sarge. Caddy Rapper 420, I love you, sweetheart. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Mr. Ottawa himself is here, ladies and gentlemen. Gamecock Jenny, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I have a feeling that we are about to make a turn in this interview and to get into some of the more negative side of this. So just know, trigger warning. Some things are going to be said you're probably not going to like to hear. So take that upon yourself to go ahead and mute, leave, come back later, do what you feel you got to do. But things are going to change up in this conversation real quick. So. Hell yeah. And I appreciate it, and I'm sure Hazel appreciates you all being here. Really do. On the sidelines, thank you for being here very much. Thank you very much. Pink Peony, what's up, Pink Peony? Yes, it's already negative, but we're going to get into the real negative side of it all. Like when I first heard about this myself, the thoughts and feelings that went through my head and went through my mind, I could probably go to prison for. I'm just saying, and that, like my wife just said, at the same time, my heart shattered. My wife said my heart goes out to Hazel too and her family. So yeah, for sure. Temper, thank you for being here, my friend. You guys know how these things go, so just be patient. We'll get back to the interview. Besides, you can take a moment and stare at my pretty face. Well, baby, just a little bit louder. Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm still here. I'm just having a bite. Let me know when. Okay, cool.
Whenever you're ready, you just click back on. You just stick your microphone back on and say, "All right, get to know. Shut up. It's time for me to tell my story," and I will.
I would never tell you to shut up.
Well, I mean, I'm sure a lot of
I'm
people wouldn't
playing.
mind. So yeah, so like her husband and I, like we go like clear back to very early childhood for him, very early childhood. I've known him his entire life, so yeah, this kind of hits home for me as well. It is Awareness Monday. I actually had something else planned for Awareness Monday today, but this came up kind of at the last minute, and I had an opportunity. And she said, "You just got to make me do it." And I said, "Okay, we're doing it Monday at noon. Don't be late." And here we are. So the one I had planned for this Awareness Monday, I'll do next Monday, and it'll be about the negative effects and how hard verbal abuse can be to people. So. Yes, if you haven't already, I got to ask why not. Click the link, get the book. You won't regret it. It's only $10. You'll love it. I'm just saying. That's right. A face like this, everybody wants this on a hoodie. Just saying. What's up, Brown? How are you today, Brown? I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Now Hazel's got me all hungry now. Like I'm thinking, like, can I make me a sandwich? Like I kind of want a sandwich right now too.
Jimmy John's, baby.
Yeah. Their bread's too
I'm
hard for
trying to
me. No
connect my
cheese, you know.
Bluetooth so I can hear you guys better, or you. Anyhow.
Yeah. It's just
Okay, I'm ready when you are.
Okay. So let's go. Let's go to. I hate saying this, but let's move to the negative part of this story. The negative part of this story.
It's pretty much all there. That's all it is, really, right?
Well, no, because there's always, in order for something to be negative, there's got to be some positive in it. I mean, we are talking about your little brother helped you out in a hard time, bonded with your son, his nephew, and then the ultimate betrayal comes in.
Right.
Now, one thing I was curious about myself, and I've been ever since I heard about it, like, how did you guys find out that this happened, that this took place? I mean, did they get caught in the action of doing it, or you know what I mean? Like, because I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. So, no, not in the action. So my brother and his partner had actually separated. And the partner moved out, but he had been in a he had been in a terrible accident out on their land. His partner, he got crushed by a 1-ton hay bale. It fell on him and broke his L1, and he just had a tragic fucking accident before they separated, which is, of course, he did, because he deserved it.
What he was doing
I
in the
think,
bushes,
like fucking universe, thank God. Because if that accident wouldn't happen, we might never know, because it all came out after that. But he was in the accident. Of course, my brother helped take care of him. I went to the hospital and held his hand in the fucking waiting room, not knowing a thing about this. I think about all these things that like gives me chills about who he really was, laying there. And I felt so much compassion for him. And my husband says he never fucking did, and that's word.
Your husband's a totally different breed, though. You know what I mean? He kind of comes from the same side of the tracks I come from. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh, so, for sure. That's what I fell in love with. Anyways, little yin and yang. So that accident happened. They ultimately split. His partner went and lived with some dudes, and all of a sudden my brother's at work one day and calls my mom and says, "Hey, I don't even care if I say his name, but because I don't know what to call him besides. Gabe got arrested today. Um, he was him and his boyfriend were looking at a Grinder account and started talking to this kid on Grinder who apparently is underage. So they arrested him on that. And I'm thinking, like, that's pretty serious, you know? And like, how the fuck do you like what? Like it didn't all add up just yet. But I'm
Right.
like, I'm there to support him, you know. I'm like, oh my God, are you okay? You know, and he's like, yeah, I'm good. Um, but the anger came right back out because then he called my sister-in-law cunt for being upset about this charge that Gabe was getting. And, you know, it's like, well, why is she a cunt? Because she feels the way she feels. But my sister-in-law can be a cunt. She just says it like it is and or how she feels. And, you know, that's offensive to people sometimes. But
Yep.
anyways, so he's sitting in jail and all of a sudden it comes out like a couple days later that they found this iPad of his and it has a bunch of child pornography on it. And we're like, oh fuck.
Ooh.
You know? And so what happened was the prosecutor said your parent, because he was injured so badly. I mean, he was still in a wheelchair at this point, in the jail and on a lot of medication, had 2 broken ankles. I mean, he was fucked up. And so the jail doesn't want to deal with that responsibility necessarily if they don't have to.
Right.
And so they sent him, his parents came and picked him up from where he's from. And he's an only child. I just have to put that out there. Only child and left home when he was 11 years old, I found out, which is a fucking trip to me. Anyhow, they came and picked him up and said, do not come back in this state until your next court date. So his
Wow.
parents come, pick him up, and we start packing all his shit, like get the fuck out of our lives, sort of a thing, you know? And my brother's like motivated to do this. He's like, but he's still kind of being there for you know, the ex, which I guess that's kind of just who he is, and he must know something about something and
Kind of.
wanna, you
Yeah.
know, just
Because
whatever the fuck it was. I don't even care.
my impression is he was really worried about what child porn they found on that iPad.
Exactly, exactly. Isn't hindsight so 2020?
Yeah.
So, anyways, but after his partner was gone, he's even before the charge came up, I saw my little brother starting to come back out, you know. He was spending more time with us. He was just being more calm. He got a good job that he really liked. Um, he was taking care of his shit, and that was good to see because when they were together, he was never taking care of his shit. He was always taking care of Gabe's, you know? And and we get lost in our relationship sometimes, but then we get, you know, when
Yeah.
you wise up, then you're like, okay, well, me's important first, because if I'm not good, nobody's good.
Yeah. I just came to
Anyways,
learn that a couple months ago.
right? Not
I'm
nuts.
serious.
You
Yeah.
just learned that?
Yeah. I'm dead serious. Like I've
I know.
never in my entire 46 years have I ever put myself and my needs first. I've always put everybody else first,
Amen.
and I will live the rest of my life putting myself first.
Well, and there's nothing wrong with that, Aaron, and you deserve it, you know? And when people can grasp it and not be selfish, but just be real and like, you know, because if mama don't eat, nobody eats. Or if mama ain't happy, nobody's happy. You know that
Amen.
saying? It's fucking the truth. Anyways, so blah blah blah. Where am I at? And then so it was about I think this happened in September that he
Of
got
last
charged with the
2 years ago or last year.
no, it's been 3 years. It was just
Okay.
after COVID, right, hon? Like COVID had I think COVID had started. Yeah. So 2020, 2021-ish. I don't fucking know.
We'll call it
It's been a
2021.
crazy. Yeah, 2021. Um and then oh god. So my little brother was living in my parents' house, and then my husband and I had moved in with my parents at, we call it our compound. Because my brother was trying to sell his house, my big brother, and so we got to get out of there so they could make some money because the market was hot. And then my parents were like, "Well, let's all help each other out, save some money, and just move in together." So they had listed their house, which they had bought my brother. I've never been bought a fucking house in my life, but they had bought my little brother when he moved back from Oregon. Actually, they just had to put that Band-Aid back on there. Just put a Band-Aid on it.
On that little baby
But
boy.
they remodeled it, and they actually lived in it while he was away and enjoyed it for, I don't know, they spent fucking money they didn't have on it, and then ultimately had to sell it. So but my brother had moved back into that house from the second property that they financed for him, because it was just too much for him to take care of all by himself. So he finally, all I'm saying is I saw a light in him again, and I was like, thank God, and he was coming over, kicking it with us a little bit. He told me one night when he was out at our compound, I said, hey, I always call him Bubba. I said, hey, Bubba, I know you're going through some shit. And I said, nobody knows, what goes on the inside of your relationship. I said, I just want you to know I'm here for you because he's seen my husband and I through our ups and downs. I mean, he was a kid when I got with my husband.
Right.
And so he's known him, our whole relationship. And he always hated him, kind of, it seemed, for a long time. Because my husband and I, like, we did our own thing. After I turned 18, we were running and gunning and hot and in love, honey.
Yeah.
It was good shit. But so anyways, I just said, nobody know, I'm here for you, basically. Like, I've been through my own shit. And he looked at me in the eyes and he just said, he goes, you're right. Nobody knows. And that, like,
Oh,
haunts me sometimes,
oh, damn.
because I know he was fucking serious, and he had tears in his eyes, and he's like, nobody knows. And I said, I love you. Give me a hug. And I said, you gonna be all right? And he's like, I'll be all right. And that was after his ex had gotten busted. Okay. So this is all spooky time, kind of. And he knew something was coming. He didn't know because he thought that it had been gotten rid of. Oh no. The dirt was there still, and they found it. All of it. He had this. Anyways, go ahead. You say something now.
What's up, Cash? So, I can feel because I haven't heard the whole story. I've only heard bits and pieces of it, but
Yeah.
I can
It's a
feel my
lot.
blood boiling, especially after he's like, "Yeah, you never know." Like
Yeah.
he knew what was about to happen, and
He
I
was
don't, I
scared.
don't, I know he's your brother, and whatever. But
You can
what a
say
coward!
whatever. It doesn't
What a
hurt me
coward!
like it used to.
What a coward! You know what I mean?
Right.
Like he should have
Heck
said
yeah.
something to you right then and there, and that could have given him, a little bit of. But you can't. He can't even take that off of his own shoulders, dude. So
Right. It's a trip. It's a trip. Yeah. It's nuts. So I remember looking at going over to see my brother. Um, and in this time, uh, he had watched our son for us a couple times because he stopped caregiving for him ultimately because it it was weird because it started stressing him the fuck out.
oh well,
I
now we
remember
know.
one day he
But now
called
we know
me.
why, though, right?
Yes, and one day he called me and he said, "You got to come here right now. He just threw up everywhere." And and my brother, he can handle a hysterical scene as far as like, a traumatic incident. Someone breaks their leg. He's going to be there and know what to do next, not freak out, run away. Someone's throwing up. He's going to go get the bucket and, give him some Tylenol, whatever the hell it is. He knows how to handle those kind of situations. He was always the calm in my storm with my son. And anyways, he called me. He's like hysterical. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? I go, okay. I said, calm down. Um, is he sitting upright? Can he breathe? Yada, yada. I'm coaching him through it. And he knows all these things. He has common sense. And he's like, I go, where's mom at? Because our office was on the next block because we have family business. She was close. So I said, well, I'm going to call mom. So I call my mom. I'm like, mom, go over to the house right now, please. Ben is tripping. She's like, it's fine. It's fine. I said, please go over there. I can't make it there for 15 more minutes. And I get there and I remember my brother's hands shaking. And here's my sweet little, he was like 5 at the time. Or no, he was older than that. He was like 6ish, whatever, however old he was. He was small and he's always been small and helpless, basically. And he just kind of has like a shocked look on his face. I remember when I think back, my boy did. And my brother's hands are shaking. I'm like, calm down. And he's like, I can't do this anymore. I'm like, okay, you don't have to. Like, I got you, you know? And because he was able to watch him over at his house, which was ultimately my parents' house, because it was close to my work at the shop, and blah 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 blah. It's Grammy and Papa's house, for fuck's
It was in
sake.
his comfort zone. It was his comfort zone.
Yeah. Ooh.
It was his
Ew.
safe space. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was. I thought a safe space for my kid too. Anyways, so after that he didn't watch him much. He only watched him like 2 more times. Once, and I think might have been when it happened, like the actual offense that they were charged with. My husband and I was like desperate for a break, you guys. It was like Groundhog's Day every day. Same routine, same routine. And it gets exhausting, and it's I got to the point where some days I didn't enjoy it at all. And
Right.
I feel bad saying that now, but only because I've been able to take a break from all that and have perspective on it. And my husband, he just rolls with the punches, and he's always like, babe, he's gonna be fine.
Like a true
Don't
dirty
quit
ghetto kid.
complicating everything. Yeah, Casey's he'll fucking make anything work. He'll make a fucking dirt floor look good. Anyways, and he's taught me a lot about just keeping it simple. And when you have meds 3 times a day, if this kid doesn't eat his 3 meals of such and such volume every day, he won't gain weight. It's been like that since the beginning. He fucking gained weight so slow in his little life. He used to puke everything up. It was so stressful. But so those things are like mega, and he had to have his medicine 3 times a day. So anyways, you can understand it might get a little, redundant or whatever. But I just wish everybody could meet my baby because he's so special, and
He really is. He really is.
people hear about him. They don't see the face. They don't see the spirit in him. They just hear it or read it on paper. Like the feds did. They just read. Oh, they just saw this video come up of this they said, should I get into this part?
This is your time. This is your story. We take
Fuck
this how
it.
you take this how you
I
want
have
to do it.
too many details about too many things, and I really don't need to get lost in them. So ultimately, after the partner was taken back to his homeland from his mommy and daddy, I remember looking at my brother's calendar at my parents' house because he had been staying there because he didn't have power out at the other one, and he'd been living like a savage. And I look at it and it says, Gabe, pre. What's the first court date you go to on?
Pre-sentence.
No, is it pretrial? Pretrial conference.
Pretrial conference.
So I see that on there, and I remember it being October. Is all I'm getting at. And so, but my brother was still out, still working hard, trying to do better for himself because, he was tripping. And anyways, so a couple of weeks later, yeah. Okay, so yeah. Why don't you talk? Want to? All right. Couple of weeks later, I go to pick up my son from the caregiver, sign her out at the office that's a couple blocks up from my parents' house. And I go in the office and I'm talking to the caregiver. We love her. She loves our kid like he's her own. She's caregived for us for like 6 years now, 6 or 7 years. Anyways, I'm chatting with her and my mom walks in and she sits down in the office chair and she like looks like she saw a fucking ghost. And I'm like joking around with the caregiver and I go, I said something, I go, right, mother? You know, like she wasn't adding into our conversation. She was not there. And I'm
She's
like, what
totally
the fuck
disengaged.
is going on? Oh my God. I've never seen my mom like that. So I was like, I started getting a little worried and I said, okay, bye. We'll see you next shift or whatever, you know? And I'm holding my special boy in my arms and I go, Mom, what's up? Are you okay? And she's like, she gets up and she's walks out of the office and she's like, she doesn't know what to do. And I follow her out. I said, Mom, what's going on? And she goes, she just looked at me and she goes, it's bad, Lisa. And, or Hazel. I don't really care if people know my name, honestly. But, boo, 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 boo. I have Tourette's, you guys.
Her name's really Hazel, ladies and gentlemen.
Hazel. And she said it's bad. And I go, what is it? Like I thought someone died. And she goes, it's your brother. And I go, okay. And she said, the feds just came and arrested him.
Oh,
No,
damn.
this is between me and my mom first. And I'm holding my boy in my arms, you know? And she said, the feds just arrested him. And I go, for what? And she said, I'll call him, what should I call him? What's my baby's name? It's about
Your
son,
boy.
you know, it's about
Yeah.
son, my boy. And I said, I will fucking kill him. That was the first words I remember coming out of my mouth. Because here I'm thinking, oh, what the hell?
Oh, we can't hear you anymore, sweetheart.
Okay.
I think you accidentally muted.
No, she's not muted. I can barely hear her.
I declined
Okay,
it.
there you
But
go. There you go.
and I'm just like, and she's like crying, you know, but it's like, it's weird. Shock is weird. People handle it differently. I was
Yeah.
angry for like the first 10 minutes, like really angry. And here I am holding my son in my arms, who is the victim and is hearing this and understands what we're saying, you know, but
Yeah.
can't say anything. And so we go and sit down and I just said, what the fuck? What the fuck do they, you know, what's the deal? And I said, I'm going to fucking kill him. And she said, she said, he's probably going to get killed, you know, because she
She's
knew
probably gonna get
it
killed
was
if
bad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And right then my heart broke for my brother. And I'm like thinking, this is fucked up, you know, because I'm just a compassionate person. I just am, that's who I am. That's my makeup in me. What?
It's like my heart goes out to you. You're like,
I know. I love you. You're the best. It was just a twisted spot to be in. And so she told me, they found a video, the feds found a video on, Gabe's iPad and it's of your boy and it's a 10-second video. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know, like, what are they doing in this video? Is what I said. I said, I want to see that video right now, is what I said. And I'm fucking serious. I still want to see. I know that sounds, I'm sorry to say this, but for me as a mother, I'm not sorry because it was
I
so
get it.
important for me to know that that is what they said happened, because my husband's been fucked with his whole life by the law. You know, they
Mhm.
lie all the time. And it being so serious, I had to see it for myself. You know,
Right.
and I've seen my child's naked body and I've seen a man's penis. So why the fuck can't you show me? And they said ultimately, because I asked until the sentencing, you know, I want to see the video. But they said, the prosecutor, I even called the prosecuting attorney general here, and of course I didn't get to ever speak with him. But they said it would be considered viewing child pornography, and we can't allow that.
Yep. Exactly.
And ultimately I understand, I guess, but for me, like, I don't know. Yes, and the thing is they gave my brother mandatory minimum 15 years in a federal penitentiary. And he only got one charge, and it was for child exploitation. But what's fucked up is his ex-partner. He had thousands of pictures of child porn on his iPad, I guess. And I went to his sentencing. I could not go to my brother's. I don't know. It just was hard. But for some reason I felt like a power to go to Gabe's. That was a fucked up day. But he got 45 years. I couldn't stay for the sentencing part. I went and spoke. And like a dumb bitch, I was just so forgiving of him. But you know what I learned about forgiveness is we don't do it for the other person. We do it for ourselves. And I don't know how y'all feel. I'm sure y'all feel all sorts of ways about that. But I really think that's true.
That's big on you to talk, because the piece of shit that molested me, I'll never forgive him.
But Aaron, how does that keep you? How does that hold you back from something else?
It really don't.
Rent free in your head.
Does like it doesn't bother me.
I mean, and you know what? And we all make our own path, and we all write our own book. You published, young man. Anyways, so yeah. All right, somebody else talk. I'm taking a bite.
Okay, so with that being said, like I gotta give Hazel kudos on this, because I would have went into that courtroom and I would have said, "You're lucky you're going to prison right now, and you'll be even luckier if I don't find out what prison you're in, because I'm sure I know somebody in it."
It's the same. At the same time, it's hard for her because it's her brother.
Yeah.
She's kind of in the middle of
a rock and a hard place. Talk about the ultimate fucking situation. Yeah. Yeah.
Tough.
Absolutely. So CFN's clean. I'm glad you got the book. Have you started reading it yet? Just curious. It really is a good book. I'm not just saying that because I wrote it. It really is a good book.
I agree.
So,
I've only had a couple bits and pieces of it.
well, thank you, CFN's queen. I appreciate the compliments. So yeah, so earlier this morning, before this live stream started and stuff, I was over at Charlie Sending Love's channel. She does live panels all the time, and her son has mild CP, and her brother had severe CP. And when I told her what this live stream was about, she's like, "I'll be there for sure." So, yeah.
Bless your heart, woman.
What's up, James? I appreciate the compliment, Charlie. You know, if people are like, "How do you do it?" I'm like, "I don't know. It just comes to me. I just write down my feelings about shit." And like I've lived a lot of life in the short 45 years or 6 years that I've been here, and I've just figured out a natural way to put it into words that people will understand on a completely different level. So, yes, absolutely. Can we throw some? Let's fill this chat up with hearts, ladies and gentlemen, with some purple, some purple and pink hearts. Let's put some purple and pink hearts up in here for our guest today, Miss Hazel. I appreciate it. Her name's yes. And Hazel does start with an L, ladies and gentlemen. That's why it says L on her screen.
Oh, did you know that green is a CP color? So green hearts are cool.
Okay, green hearts. Cool. Let's fill it up with green hearts, ladies and gentlemen. Come on.
Let's do it for the boy.
Oh yeah. And the mom and the dad and all the other, even though you weren't all physical victims, you guys are also the victims of your brother's and his boyfriend's abuse.
Oh, it messed us all up. My whole family.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
So,
trickles down.
yep, it does. Like my kids were victims of what happened to me before I even knew I was going to have kids.
Yeah.
You know,
Right. What do you mean by that? Like they get to
because
know because you are a victim? Like what do you mean?
like I never allowed my kids to spend the night at a friend's house.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like
I get
it's
it. Okay.
normal. It's normal for that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you know, and we spoke to our children about sexual abuse, basically
Mm-hmm.
from the moment we figured that they could understand the words that were coming out of our mouths. Because as
Right.
most people here know, my wife and I both are survivors of sexual abuse in our childhood.
Yep.
So, you know, and
It,
I just wish that somebody would have been able to tell me about this stuff when it was happening to me, before it
exactly.
happened to me. Because maybe, but I'm glad. It's gonna sound fucked up, but I'm glad the things that happened to me as a child happened to me as a child because it gives me the strength, the power, the knowledge, and to do this what I'm doing now. So
Yeah.
you know
Thank
what I
God
mean.
for you because if people don't speak about it, it gets brushed away and
And that's why
you
it's
know,
become so bad. That's why it's become
it's
so bad.
taboo. It's taboo. And it's like, no, motherfuckers, this is happening everywhere. You don't
Yes.
get it. That's what upset me. You know, why do we have to keep it a secret? It's
Yeah.
Amy. Answer it.
Yeah.
Okay, one sec.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, anyhow, this could go on for days, I think.
So this is probably going to be relatively impossible to answer, but how has this personally, like on a pure Hazel level, how has this fucked with your ability to trust people, or has
Oh
it?
my gosh.
It just
I don't
around
I
around your children for one, and in general altogether.
well, I don't know, Casey, what do you think? I think I've always like trusted right off the bat. Like, I would expect every human to be a good human. And but I was raised naive. Um, because my dad had sexual abuse when he was 4 years old. His grandfather abused him and his older sister, made them have sex with one another. It fucked my dad up bad. But my dad, he broke the chain in his way, and he overly protected us, you know, but he didn't give us knowledge. He didn't talk to us about sexual abuse. He just said, "Oh no, you come over here, I'll take care of it." Said, you know, your friends can come here and stay the night.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
Yep. I did.
Um,
My wife and I did the same thing. My wife and I did the
mhm.
exact same thing.
And so I was naive, all the way up until today. No, I'm naive sometimes still. I don't know. I trust. It definitely changed my ease of trust in people because, like, especially authority and just people I don't know. My husband can smell a rat from way far away. And I have to get close to the cheese first. I don't know what my problem is.
Right.
But, or if it's a problem at all, or if it's just, part of my learning curve to realize that you got to have a guard up. And there are evil people in this world. There are good people that have chosen to do evil things, which
Yes.
makes them they're just taking a piece of that evil pie. It's fucked
Yep.
up. I'm not a perfect person, but I have never been a predator. you know
Right. So I'm kind of known for asking the hard hitting questions. So
Get it.
you said your parasite brother got sentenced to 15 years fixed, mandatory minimum.
Yes.
So so the day's gonna come
Yeah.
that he gets released,
Right.
and how do you think you're going to What are you going to do about
Handle
that? Like, do you think 15 years in prison is enough, or do you think you should spend more time in prison?
it.
There's no wrong answer,
15
sweetheart.
years is a long time, but it's not. No, the more. So I've only talked to my brother a little bit, and in the beginning, I didn't talk to him at all for about a year, and because I was fucked up about it, I cried every fucking day about it.
I bet.
It fucked me up. It set a lot of things off for me. Things got worse in different areas of my life. Um, I felt like I was lost almost. It was weird, but it makes sense, right? When we experience these things and we don't know, I don't know. I was just, anyways, I think it's, I think it's a mandatory minimum. I think it should be mandatory. My mom was like, my parents, they fucking fought it tooth and nail because he only had that one charge. Okay. And my mom's thinking her baby's going to get killed when he goes to prison. And we have a friend that just got out of the feds, and he told my husband, they kill him, they'll kill him. And I'm like dying. I'm like bawling and saying like, what it is my brother, he chose to be where he's at. He did have, I know he was sexually abused as a child. He's never told me, but my intuition and my inside says he was. And then I now know, it's come out after all this shit hit the fan, that he touched some of our cousins, but he was a kid then. Okay. But never in his adult life have I heard of anything except my child. Like, what the fuck?
Right.
And you know what? There could be others. I don't know.
And I don't know if you realize this, and I hate saying this, but you know in your heart that it happened more than once to your child by then.
Yeah, I do. And my mom's like, no, there's no way.
It wasn't
I'm
just
like,
this one 10-second video.
lady, I said, are you fucking that naive? Are you kidding me? She is. It's stupid. It's like it's like she has a fucking blinders on, and it's like, hello. So ultimately, when he was sentenced at 15, I feel like it's absolutely necessary. What I hope is that the prison that he's at now, they don't have the counseling and things like they do at the prison that he's going to be able to transfer to, but they need fucking help. If you're not going to send them to the Lord after that, motherfuckers, you better be fucking rehabilitating in the most, like, I don't know. I just feel like we don't talk about it because people don't know how to deal with it. People don't even know how to fucking probably rehabilitate for this, except probably the offenders, maybe, Aaron.
Like I was just gonna say, oh my God, you told them my real name. I'm just kidding. They know. I'm just kidding.
Oh, I've said it twice. I'm sorry.
But like
what is your stage name?
It's
Get to know.
Aaron G2K, get to know. Just
G2K,
whatever.
yo. D2. Okay, I like that. All right, sorry.
But the reoffense rate on parasites is 99.8%. 99.8% reoffend. There's no rehabilitating a pedophile. There's not.
I can't believe it. I mean,
I'm telling you, the last 4 years, or almost 4 years that I've been doing this, I surround myself with stories and stats and statistics and facts.
Okay, so
there's not.
Okay, so here's a thought. Okay, a drug addict. Okay, I'm in recovery. I've done my fair share of whatever the hell I choose to do. And I'm recovering from life, honestly, at this point. And wouldn't you think, just chew on this, like the offender would know how to maybe rehabilitate better than anyone else? the one that's doing it, that would make sense, right? Because drug addicts run the meeting. You know, AA, there's an alcoholic that's been sober 25 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
I mean, it's just a thought. It's just a thought.
no. And that's a good thought. But
That's Tegan.
that's a drug addict, 60% of drug addicts, once they'll never touch drugs again.
Another thing,
You know what I mean?
a drug addict is only hurting themselves mostly.
Yeah.
They're not.
True. Good point. Good point.
You know,
Good
and I
point, right?
know it sucks because he's your brother and that shit, but you know, like I would hope that I would hope in my heart and soul, I wish they were rehabilitable, but they're not. They're not. Your brother, unfortunately, will be a sexual predator the rest of his life.
Oh yeah, I know.
No, it's hard on his feet.
You know,
It'll
and
never
like
that part will never change that he, did that. But I'm just a hopeless fucking hoper that something I feel like you hear that saying you have to break the chain. Someone's got to break the chain. Well,
break that
break
cycle.
the chain and somebody do something proactive because in Matthew, right? What verse is it or whatever that the Lord says, like send them to me. If you're out here murdering and touching kids or
there's the
I don't know what
misconception
the
with
exact
there's the
verse is.
misconception here's the misconception with that verse, okay? Like
Okay.
people think
I don't know what it says.
that the verse says it would be better for you to tie a millstone around your neck and to drop yourselves to the bottoms of the deepest parts of the ocean than to come and face me for hurting a child. It doesn't my little ones, okay? Like it really like suicide, people believe, whatever. So when you commit suicide, you don't go to heaven or hell, you walk around in purgatory. God's literally saying it'd be better for you to commit suicide and kill yourself and not come and see me than to come and see me at all.
Okay.
That's what it means.
Well, I have this anyways. Okay, I get what you're saying. But ultimately, I believe in this might not everybody has the higher power. If I didn't, I wouldn't be here. But especially after this shit happened. It was like nuts. But there also is forgiveness from my savior, if we ask it. And I told my brother when the first time I saw him, I said, you need to repent. I said, you need to ask for forgiveness and that was kind of like a little bit weird for me to say. And I said, and you need to forgive yourself. And that feels weird saying it now because then I was so hurt and I was sad for my brother. I was sad for my kid. I was sad for the fucking whole sitch.
Right.
And my heart was broken.
Right.
Now
like
it's
my
just
wife,
shit.
like my wife just said, she's like, I couldn't imagine being in your position. That's why I was telling you this whole because I've been trying to get her to come and do this interview for almost a year now. And like when I told you from the very beginning, you have a very unique situation.
Mm-hmm.
It's your family, and it's your family.
Yeah.
And then you being your voice.
You're like
right, exactly. His advocate.
Because he'll never be able to stand up and tell his story and say how that's affected him.
Well, he might because he does use an eye gaze. I mean, I don't know. The future is the future, but
right.
That's what I feel like. He's such a I started having these spiritual downloads, because ultimately, I mean, there's a lot of shit that happened in my life after that came out, and my brother went to jail and waited for sentencing. I mean, me and my husband struggled hard, and I'm telling you what, from day one, my blood, sweat, tears, every minute, moment, second, whatever has been, I always had my special boy on my mind because I knew how important it was to be there for him. And it was my responsibility. Ultimately, overall, mom is the word. And I had a weight on me, and it became and I know that he was traumatized, my son, because he fucking lost weight. And plus he was prepubescent is what the feds called him.
He can't just come in. He just can't open up and tell somebody.
Right. And so, he lost enough weight and we were all going through such a hard time that the fucking my children were placed into foster care because I brought my son to the hospital. I said something is wrong. I had actually thought that his G tube was leaking inside and his food was going in between the his stomach and his
Damn.
actual belly,
Right.
whatever. And then he could go sepsis, right? And so he had had this rash on his belly by his G tube. He was fucking out of his he was out, he was hurt. For 2 years he was hurt, like after everything came out finally. And even while it was happening, I noticed a change in my kid. I'm telling you. I'm
Yeah.
like, this boy ain't as smiley as he used to be, you know?
Yep. Motherly instinct.
I mean, fuck yeah.
You and Hazel said it at the same time. Man. It is too.
What?
Motherly
That
instinct.
what?
Like it
Yeah.
was your instinct that something was wrong with your kid. You just couldn't put your finger on it.
Yeah, I just didn't know, like, I'm just like, what? That's weird. Little things. And then so anyways, I brought him to the doctor again. I brought him there like 5 times that month to say something's going on with my kid. He's not eating. He's like, he was wild, huh, hun? He was just like, he was beside himself. And plus he was trying to grow. Plus mom and dad are fighting all the time because they're stressed out about the situation that happened. A lot of shit happened to us. And ultimately, one of the pediatricians said, I'm really worried about your son. I said, so am I. Like, duh. That's why I'm fucking here, bitch. Yeah. Yeah, really? And so she goes, why don't we send him to his team? Because he was born at a children's hospital, right? And then we've kept his original team of doctors. And we go visit him. It's a few hour drive. Like every between he gets Botox in his muscles every 3 months. And then every 4 to 6 months, we go see his team. And so he hadn't seen his team since this happened with my brother because I was broke ass hoe trying to deal with my brain and finance. Anyways, it really fucked up a lot of things. Now I can't say that I didn't make my own choices in that time, like by not asking for help, but I feel like I did ask for help and nobody fucking heard me. Right. Anyways, whatever. Ultimately, my kids, when a child is a victim, I found this out, their name goes on this registry, right? Then if that kid's name comes up anywhere, it goes up on this board at the feds and they see, like, they're like being so and so, is in the hospital is what it was. So I'm up at the hospital trying to get better care for my kid because I know something's going on with him besides all the things that had gone on with him. And I just want my child to be well. And I want to be well, and I thought I was going to have they said, well, he's underweight, yada, yada. He's dehydrated. I said, I know all of these things. You guys didn't give him fucking water for 2 fucking days while he was in your intake and stuff. They just don't understand him. And they think they know better is the other thing that pisses me off about this world is people who think they know better.
Yep.
And it's like, do you live in my shoes every day? Are you the one taking care of this child? Have you lost sleep and food and all these things that I just like it's hard. It was hard. But he's good now. He's actually in a really good place. He's got some weight on him. We're with him. Thank God, and just thank God that there's light at the end of tunnels.
Okay, so
I haven't seen it all. I haven't seen the whole thing. There's a glimmer.
Okay, so now that you've successfully avoided answering my question,
what was it? I forgot.
I gotta ask you my question again. What do you think? What do you think?
God.
If your brother was released today,
Mm-hmm.
what would you do? Would you?
Okay,
do you want to talk to
that's
him?
a better way to put it. Okay.
Do you want a relationship?
I think
with
that
him?
I would honestly give him a hug. I would cry a lot. And I probably would keep a distance. And Casey says my husband says you beat the fuck out of him.
I'm right there with you, brother.
Right. I would. That's a hard question, dude.
I know.
Yeah,
That's what I'm good for. That's what I'm good for.
You know, with the first time I saw him, behind the plexiglass,
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah. My wife's like, hey, it probably hasn't even crossed her mind yet.
oh, fucking amen, sis. Yeah, it really hasn't. That much. I've actually had dreams about him being with me and stuff, and it felt good, in my dream. But I haven't had, those vivid ones where you're just like, you needed that hug from someone, or you needed to see, like, that's how it was, like, almost like God was like, here's a piece of him for a minute, because he can't be with you right now. And I need a hug. Fuck, you know?
Yeah.
And also I'm fucking disgusted. I'm angry. My anger grew in different ways over this last from the time he got arrested all through sentencing and court hearings, yada yada yada. My mom's always like, you never were interested to hear what was going on with the court case. I said, bullshit. Like, I'm fucking always interested. And don't fucking tell me that I don't care. And she's like, well, you don't know the trauma that your brother experienced. I don't give a fuck, lady. Like,
it ain't about that
fucking trauma your son gave to mine, bitch. Oh, sorry. Tourette's.
It's about a young child with cerebral palsy who's nonverbal, who's quadriplegic. That's what it's about. It's not about
who was, yeah. So I guess I don't know if anybody cares to know this, but so when they after they arrested my brother, my dad actually knew the federal agent that arrested him. He actually coached him in wrestling. Trippy. And this fucking pussy, this Fed, said to my dad, I'm just reading this comment. He is with you, girl. You feel him. It makes me cry. He said to my dad, at my parents' house, because they call my parents because the house is in their name, right? So they arrest my brother. My parents go over there, find out the charge. This agent says to my dad, where are his parents at? Talking about my husband and I. And my dad says something like, well, I could try getting a hold of them. And he goes, you know what? Why don't you let them know what happened? And I was like, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
He talked to us one time, remember? Over the phone, because we finally fucking hunted his fucking bitch ass down and I said, I want to know what's on this video, is what I said to him. And I want to know what happened to my kid on here. And he said, well, it was 2 10-second clips. There was no penetration. They touched their penises to his penis and their penises to his anus. And that's all he said. And I'm like, okay, that's it? Not that's it, but that's it? Right. Like, really? Like, what? And it ain't their first rodeo with my kid, because if they're laying his ass down and doing a video, they must have fucking planned this shit. Or the mastermind. I do believe that Gabe is like, I think he probably said, hey, why don't we do it with, nephew?
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. I will tell you that Gabe was almost killed in prison after he was sentenced, and I fucking cried like a dumb bitch. But at the same time, like, then a couple days later, after I was like, I felt so sorry for him. That's so weird.
It's not because human beings.
I feel like scared to say that.
Are built with compassion. Like, it sucks to hear that shit, but I wouldn't have cared. I'm like, damn, I would have been not.
And then after hearing my people like you and my husband and other people that care for me and my child say like, good, you know, why didn't they kill him? Well, those motherfuckers want him to suffer in there.
Oh, yeah,
Suffer.
it's
They're
not
not going to
even
kill
going,
him right
yeah,
off the bat unless
yeah.
he, you know, does something that takes him there. But he is where he needs to be. So is my brother at this time. Shoot. Anyways, after that, I was like, all of a sudden I had this like, God said, Lisa, maybe probably wasn't God, but maybe. But I had this like ding light bulb say, someone was standing up for your son, Lisa, when they did that to him, you know? Like, and then I was like, that's right. You know, because I would beat the fuck out of him if I could. I would beat the fuck out of my brother if I could. And you know what? Since he was little, he has always told me, I'm scared of you, Lisa. It's what he would say, like when I get mad. Like, uh, you better be. No. Shut up and
So,
sit down.
so I'm still, maybe I missed it, but so how did
Mhm.
how did they find this video? How did they find the CP on this dude's shit? You know what I mean? Like,
Okay, so and I'm seeing this comment. Maybe they were selling and trading these videos. Maybe that's what people do. Because that's what my mom and I wanted to know. Okay, where the fuck did this video go across state lines? Because what happened is, for one, the boyfriend, after my brother and him had split, and he was living in this new, you know, had roommates, whatever. He that's when he sent the video across state lines, I believe. So, and then that pinged the feds. But what happened with the iPad is he was dating this kid, and the kid found all the child pornography on his iPad,
oh,
and he turned it in.
that good
And good
kid,
for him. Good for
good
him.
kid, good kid.
And we know, you know what, Aaron? I bet we know the person that was dating the kid, you and I personally, that turned it in. And it's a trip. It's like, what the fuck? It's such a small world. It's insane.
Yep.
But
Well, you'll have to
yeah.
tell
And
me who
then
that
I
is
just have to say this.
off
I'm
stage.
not, what's that?
You'll have to tell me who it was off stage, but you know,
Oh, yeah, I will for sure.
now I'm curious.
I think you would. Yeah, definitely. Oh, call me. Anyways, I have to say this. I am not defending my brother, but he did not have one piece of child pornography. They found nothing else. No, nothing in his home, nothing like that on
Well,
him.
I've seen. I didn't know that. That's good. That's good.
That is good.
But
You
for
know,
me,
that's
that
thank
doesn't help.
God.
You know, I mean, that
It
just makes
doesn't make him any
it's a
different.
life person. Right. Right.
Yeah, because I'm sure he watched it with him. Sick. I
Yep.
also know that after the video was made, my mom's told me that because my brother talked to the feds, you know, they said, hey, listen, this is what we got on you. Tell us what the fuck happened. And he told them, I guess. Was I there for that interview? No. But he basically said, oh God, I just lost my thought. It ran away. Oh, blah, blah, blah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, my mom said, so they had moved away to another state to do the livestock thing for this people that his partner knew. And
Mhm.
they made money, they housed him, all that, blah blah blah. My brother called one day and was like, he was terrified, my mom said in his voice, but him and his partner had been fighting, and he goes, I just want to come home. I just want to come home. He said, I want to go back to church. I want to get married in the temple, like that. Like something must have happened with the kid, is what I get the feel of.
Mm.
That freaked my brother out, you know, like, because then after, when the rinse came, after they were charged, Gabe's rinse was pretty dirty. That water was. And some shit came out about people that he knew and their kids. And this guy was the fucking youth swim instructor at Gold's Gym. What? When he got busted.
Mm.
Come on. That's a good, he's got a front. Like his front was like a front face. Anyways, yeah. I'm tired, Aaron.
All right, sweetheart.
Thank you for sharing your
I'm gonna open up.
I know it's nuts.
I'm gonna open up the chat real quick. If anybody's got a couple questions, you want to take them,
Yeah.
or just want to call it good.
Yeah, for sure. I'd love to.
Okay, so any questions, ladies and gentlemen, for our guest? And again, Hazel, because I'm sticking to the script. Again, Hazel.
That's right.
I really appreciate you doing this. You have no idea what it means to me. And
you're welcome. It helps me.
Awareness, and that's exactly what you're going to do, and have done by doing this live stream, putting your story out there.
Thank you, Aaron. I mean G2K.
Oh, you're good. And maybe next time we'll talk to your husband about it.
I think that'd be powerful.
You know,
because let me tell you, I did not want to tell him. I was so scared.
Oh, I bet.
I was embarrassed, number one. I felt responsible, number two. And I knew it was going to fucking hurt him. But you know what? I love this man. Tell you that. It was
I question why you do every single day, but that's just me. Like, I'm just saying, like, you know.
What do you mean? You question what I do every day? Is that what you
No. I question why you love that dude so much.
Why you like this guy? Because he's mine. No, he's amazing. I mean, oh my gosh. Thank you for keeping me, Casey, honey.
So Charlie Sending Love says, does your son have a favorite TV show or cartoon?
Lots. He loves TV because we don't do a whole lot besides kick it, and the TV's usually always on in our house, or music. He's been watching, so he's 12 now, so he's getting to be a big boy. First show he fell in love with that I remember was Coco when he was little, and then The Croods. Then have you Seen Element, Charlie? It's a new one. Barney and wrestling. Oh, and the wrestling. My cousin has Down syndrome. Barney was like our lives for years when we were young. It's so special.
Yeah.
They get their little faves. Thanks for sharing, Charlie. Pink peony. I love peonies. I didn't hear what that person said or see it. Thank you for sharing that your story. You're welcome. Thanks for listening to me blab, you guys. I don't know. It's good. I don't have nerves like I did about it, in the beginning. So it feels a lot better now. And honestly, to talk about it has helped heal, And also, like, people always talk in front of my child like he can't, like, just because he can't speak, like my mom calls him our secret keeper. Which is bad because secrets are bad, That's what you teach your kids. We don't have secrets. We have private things or whatever.
Like I say that on here all the time, there's no such
hollering at
thing as
me.
a good secret.
I love you all and keep it going. Thanks, friend.
So-
Love you. I'll talk to you guys soon, okay?
Hang on
Peace
one
out,
second, Hazel.
y'all.
Hang on one second, Hazel.
Till we meet again. Okay,
One
I'm
second,
hanging
Hazel.
on.
Hang on.
Yep.
So Charlie, I got Charlie on panel with us, but
Yes. Hold on, son. Oh, he has to give me a hug. One sec, you guys.
Oh, give
He's
that
going
baby
to
a
the
hug.
fair. What a tweetie. Hold on. Yeah,
Well,
give me
we can
another-
wait a minute. We good.
Yeah, we can wait for a hug, huh? Oh,
Yes,
and
we
this
can.
kid's hi. You're gonna go to say, hey world. Hey world.
what's up, dude?
That's my baby. He's a healer, I'll tell you what right now. Okay. Thanks, Daddy. All right. Have fun, okay? Be good. That 20 bucks mine? Yep, it's another. That's not your first one. Did you lose your other one? Oh, no. Give me a kissy. I'll see you in a bit. Be good, no whining. Okay, thanks. Anyway, yes, Miss Charlie.
Also, I'm gonna say this. My child has mild CP. My son does.
Mm-hmm.
What I hate about the misconception is that a lot of people don't know with CP, it affects every child differently, right? And most of the time, it does not affect their intelligence. it affects their ability to be able to convey it.
Exactly.
It's mostly physical for most children.
Right.
It's like a highway stuff.
Like the speech thing, it's not that he doesn't understand speech, because he very well does, and probably wants to say a lot back, but can't verbalize it, because it's like the thing that tells you in your brain to go to your mouth to tell you to be able to use it doesn't work properly.
Right. It
It's
misfires.
It's like the highway, and then your brain sends little cars down your highway to tell this one to do this, but it gets stuck open, and then it just keeps shooting him.
Yeah, it just misfires. And I like what my husband said one time is he's just a boy trapped in his body.
This is boy.
And that's the part that makes me angry. And I
know.
want to thank you for sharing your story, because
You're welcome.
think about it, like he couldn't tell anybody.
I know.
Like
Fucked
that's
up.
the part that really bothers me, is like when people choose victims, you know, and I say survivors too, that a person can't fight. They know they can't fight back. They know they can't tell anybody. And thank God for you being an amazing mother, and your husband for being an amazing father, and noticing that something wasn't right.
Yeah, I still kick myself in the butt though, because you know, hindsight, it's so clear now. And I have to tell you guys, one time we brought our son out to just hang out with my brother for a couple hours while we went to the fucking casino, like selfish assholes, because I just needed a break, and so did my husband. And you know, Casey said, or my husband said,
I don't want
he said they better not touch my kid. And I'm like, I was like almost offended, and then I thought about it, and I'm like, I go, it's my brother, he won't. And then after all this shit came out, I had brought Titan or my son out to my brother's house, the property that I think some shit happened at, and he was throwing a fit in his seat, like he was like throwing his arms down. He was pissed. He was saying, "Don't leave me here." I said, "We're not staying, honey." And like he was telling me, "Mom, don't."
Yep.
You know, like I don't want to be here, and I'm like, oh, I'm such a bad mom. But I know that.
Do not blame yourself, because here's the thing: you did not think that this would happen. You did everything.
No.
And I'm gonna say this as a caregiver, you are. I know this because I helped with my brother, and he was almost 18 years old when he passed away, and he wasn't supposed to live.
Bless him.
He was like a baby all of his life. He had a lot of health conditions, more than just cerebral palsy.
Right.
And I'm going to say this, like, as a caregiver, you're given so much and doing so much. You need a break occasionally. You need that moment to be able to decompress and to be able to, because it's a lot. People don't understand how much it is to take care of a bedbound person. There's a lot that goes into their care to keep them from getting bed sores, to keep them from, you know, to keep them, their mind occupied. There's a lot that goes into it.
Amen.
And
you get it, girl.
Do not beat yourself up, though, because there's no way you could have predicted this. There's no way you could have prevented this.
Yeah.
You can't live in the past. All you can do is live for the future.
Thank God. Yep. And be present. I've learned that. Be present, because it's a gift. You know, that's why they call it a present, because it is a gift to be here now. Now, whatever happened yesterday, we can, you know, do better or try harder, use our wisdom. Yeah. But, I was going to say something, but anyways, I thank you for sharing, because, you know, I've beat myself up a lot over it, and I've felt like just a dirt bag about it. But at the same time, I also knew, like, I never intended this to happen. You know, of course not, but I never saw it coming.
Most people
until my husband said something. And I had a couple of feelings here and there, you know, but that's just your inkling, your mother instinct, or your spirit.
Most people don't see it coming, to tell the goddamn honest truth. You don't want to believe that's your brother. You didn't want to believe that of your brother.
Yeah. No. 9 times out of 10, it's the person that you least expect to do something is the one that's fucking doing it.
That's so creepy.
Like who would in their right mind want to believe that their sibling or someone that they truly love and care about, that they grew up with, would do something like that? Nobody would want to believe that. until
Fuck
it
no.
happens.
Yeah.
And the sad
And
part
that's why we're
is,
talking about it.
I
you know?
wish we could prevent every person that's been through these things, but we
Mm-hmm.
can't. What we can do, though, is try to make it preventable, like Mr. G2K is trying to do, is
Yeah.
harsher penalties for these people. Because if you're not afraid of the consequences, you're
Right.
gonna do it. But if you're afraid of the consequence and what can happen to you, then you're less likely. It's just like we all are
Hey,
not
that's a really good point. Mm-hmm.
going out here and stabbing people in the eyeballs. Why? Because we know we'll go to jail. We know we'll get life in prison. We don't want to spend our life in prison. So therefore,
Right.
we don't do it. These people are not afraid because they're getting slaps on the wrist. Most
Start
of them.
executing some of them. I
Exactly.
guarantee it's going to make a difference.
You know what my mom literally said to me during all the court shit? She said, if your brother knew that it had this kind of a sentence, he would have never done it.
Bullshit.
She literally said that to me. But now I'm like, which to me sounds like you're so dumb, Mom. Like, but she's not. She's just a mom fighting for her kid.
She's just not educated in this field of life.
Right.
Well, I'll say this. Sometimes, me, myself, and I would have a hard time loving even my child if they did this. I'm just telling you, it would be a very hard thing. It's like, even if it's like your sibling or someone you love, it would be very hard to even care about that person. I know that for you, it's a conflict because it's like you grow up with this person, you have good memories, you have, love,
Yeah.
and at the same time, they hurt your child. So it's
They
like,
committed
do I love you or do I
ultimate
hate
betrayal.
you? You know
They
what I'm
committed the
saying?
ultimate betrayal on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you,
See, and I played house with my cousins and stuff, and we did the, those. And there's the other thing about sexuality. It's normal, okay? But to be a predator is not.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
yes.
say this.
Mhm.
It's a generational thing sometimes also.
Right.
And hurt
So
people
true.
hurt people. And the
Yeah,
sad
amen.
part about abuse victims is they can go one or two ways, and then there is a somewhat of a middle ground.
Yeah.
Most turn to self-medication. Some
Mhm.
become abusers themselves. Some
Right.
people internalize it and then don't want to be sexually active whatsoever, and would just don't even want to be about it. So it's like each person's story who
That's
has
so
been
interesting.
a victim changes. Like you may have one person over here that decided to self-medicate and they become a drug addict because of it.
Right.
You may have this person who decides to act out in a violent manner. Then you have this person over here that acts out in a sexualization manner to where they see sex as just that. They don't even think about it's like everybody takes it from me, so I might as well give it. And they just out here giving it willy-nilly because it's the only way they feel loved. And then you have another person who doesn't want to be touched at all because it brings back PTSD moments of what they went through.
Oh my gosh, it's such a spectrum, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, that just really opened my eyes about
it's endless.
my father, anyways, what a trip it is. But I'm glad that I would really like for my parents to start watching, being a part of this live or being a part of just listening to it for support for them. My dad, he never talked about his abuse till he went to treatment when he was an adult. Because he said he felt so dirty and that's sad.
We've
he
got
had
to
to
break
carry
these
this around.
generational curses. We have to break these so that we don't
That's what's up.
repeat the same things or it doesn't keep happening. Think about it. A lot of this stuff happens in families.
Oh yeah,
a lot of it
every
is
day.
repeat.
91
my eyes were open to
91%
a
of these
sexual
crimes
culture of
91% of these crimes happen from somebody that is extremely close to you and your family.
Right.
Why is that? Because we don't let our kids go and run around and play and hang out with adult strangers. That's why.
Right, that's true. True that. What a fucked up world it can be, huh?
Yeah.
But also, it is a beautiful world. There is a lot to learn. There's a lot to grow from. There's a lot to give, we thank God, Aaron, you had this power inside of you that said, I got to talk about this because I got to talk about this too.
I'm going to give y'all both the insight. I want y'all to think about this. If what had happened to you in your lifetime did not happen, would you be able to help others with what you're doing today?
Nope.
Right here in this moment? No. So
Nope.
all those bad things, whether it happens good or bad in your life, they're all learning experience and lead you to who you are. That's why we're all uniquely amazing and uniquely ourselves. There will never be another you in this universe that have been through the things that you've been through. And
amen.
I want to give this to you, Mr. G2K, taking your bad experience and turning it into a positive thing for others.
That's huge. That's like, I have chills. Because I don't, you got some big old BALLs. LSs.
Well, you know,
Balls, that's the word.
It's just that like I know what it was like to be silenced. I know what it was like for me to get to where I'm at, and I just know that it happens every single day to more and more innocent children, and the feeling of being alone is so real that it's scary. And this has given me, since I started doing this has given me amazing growth in my own personal care, my own self-worth, and I'm never gonna just get used to this face because it ain't going nowhere. I'm never gonna stop doing what I'm doing.
I like it. It's a good one. Well, thanks, y'all. I was just gonna go see if my mom's got him right this second. I want to see if he'll say hi to everyone real quick. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hi,
Absolutely.
honey. Hey, guys. My oldest is right here. Say hey to the live world.
Hello.
What's
Hi,
up,
my
dude?
big boy.
What's up, yo?
This is David's dad. This is David's dad. What's up, bro?
Anyways, okay, let me just pop in there.
He's like, I'm fucking out of here. I've heard stories about you.
Who about my boy? Oh, walked away from David. Hey, he said he's heard stories about you. Dayla's dad. No. Tell me, he says.
Oh no. That's for
Later,
me
we'll
to know and for you to watch your shit.
Oh yeah, that's for him to know and you to watch your shit. Peace out.
I got eyes everywhere in this
like
town, boy. Just saying. I
really don't. Funny, right?
You know, but he don't need to know that.
Well, he better behave. Okay. Hey.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's load this chat up again one more time with some green hearts
nice.
for our special guest, Hazel, Lisa. Thank you so much for being here.
And here's my special boy.
What's up, buddy?
Hi.
What's up, buddy?
Sending you so much love.
Special boy. They can't see you, but they want to say hi. He's like, that means yes.
He's like, yeah, what up? Leave me alone now.
Anyways, he's chilling.
All right. Well, you give that special boy a big hug from this G2K
All right.
community.
Well, thanks, guys.
And tell your husband
get back to business.
Get off the couch.
Huggies, I'm going to go ahead and
I can't hear anybody.
Finish. And thank you for having me, Mr. Get to Know. And I hope everybody in this chat listening to this powerful story realizes you're not alone and that it's going to be okay. And if in case you have been through something and you've not spoke on it yourself, please seek help so that you can help yourself. Mental health is very important. And not only for you to be able to take care of others, you got to take care of yourself too. So much love and love ya, baby.
Much love. Much love. I don't want to hug you.
Thank you so much again, Hazel, for doing this. I appreciate it. I know that it wasn't easy. Yo. I know it wasn't easy for you to do, but I hope it was easier for you to actually do it. You know what I mean? Like,
it was so much easier than I had built up this anxiety and anticipation, and I feel better. So, a little weight gets lifted all the time. So, thank you, friend. I mean it.
Anytime.
I love you guys.
Anytime.
And thanks for everyone for listening to my babbling and blabbing and Tourette'ing. My trauma.
Well,
all right.
That's kind of what this community is about, and that's what we do here. Is we support each other.
Well, I think I dig it. I dig it.
And
it's a safe place to do it too. And thanks for the respect. Really means a lot to us. Love y'all.
Sugar
Okay,
got her.
bye.
My wife said, "Love you too, sweetheart."
Okay, love you. Bye. I will.
Mhm.
Now, how
All
do I
right,
get out
ladies
of
and
this guy?
so just you'll be down at the bottom. It'll say I don't remember shit.
That's okay. I'll figure it out. I got it somewhere.
Leave,
What's this
leave,
button do?
leave. It's down on the bottom. There we go. I look like I was trying to grab some boobies right there. Everybody, I appreciate you being here. Like I said, her and her husband are close personal friends of mine and my wife. Her kids know my daughter and shit. So this was a huge step for her and her husband. I'm still gonna be working on you, just so you know, because you still need to tell your impact and your story, bro. And everybody that was here, I'm gonna run through the chat real quick. On the sidelines, Charlie sending love. CFM's Queen, Wanda E, Miss Gothy, Ty Spork, Pink Peony, Mr. Lacombe, Candy Wrapper, Jersey, Modog, Remy stopped by. That's right. I appreciate it. Feel free to share this out to your guys' community. Encourage people to speak up about this kind of shit because not enough of us do. If you have a story to tell and you would like to come and tell it, I'm always open. Just hit my email up. That's GET2KNOW208@gmail.com. Everybody, please remember one thing. Most importantly, remember one child is one too many. Thank you all for being here.
Bye, everybody.
For everybody that was here again, much love. And for the pedophiles and the pieces of shit out there, you don't want to get to know this face, but you will.
Karma's coming for you.
Karma's coming for you like a fucking freight train, out of control. Because I don't come with brakes. Thank you all. Absolutely, Charlie. CFM's Queen. Thank you, GTK, for always being amazing. You and my Miss New Booty. Oh, that's my Miss New Booty. My Miss New Booty. Yes, I would encourage you to rewind and watch from the beginning, share it out to your communities, and take care of each other, man. Remember, one child is one too many. Laters.